Here we go.
Welcome back.
We're talking at the same time. That's how we start.
Excellent. Yep.
Simple.
And on three. And
One,
welcome back.
two,
Oh, shit.
three. Uh,
Welcome back.
okay, let's start this one by going over the rules for ourselves. And
So I think originally the intent was to have a random role playing game and then also to randomly assign who the game master is.
yeah,
But then, of course, we didn't talk about what happens when the game goes over one session, which, of course, always is. How many sessions are we going to limit it to before we flip to the next thing?
so I was thinking earlier today. Um, can you hear feedback from me?
No. How does it sound for you?
Um, check, check.
Check, check.
Oh, you know what? Check, check. That's gonna fix it. Everything. It's all done. Okay. So I was thinking earlier that um, we could like restrict the stories to like some small set of rules of like there has to be a trap in the story, there has to be some kind of special treasure in the story there, and um
There has to be a goal that can be attained in a certain amount of time.
yeah, like specifically going to the boss and not getting stuck in thing after thing after thing of like getting to it, because I realized like the first one we did, I was kind of setting you up to go through random encounter and then get to the fairies, which each of those random encounters could take 15 to 20 minutes on their own. And so,
At least.
yeah, so if it's more like some sort of like start off with some sort of trap and then lead into the boss fight for whatever the kind of thing is, and then along that way at some point in time there's some magical item that is incorporated into it, whether it be a scarf of hearing or feet feathers of falling or a +5 sword of fire. Trap, magical item, boss.
I mean, with some of them, like, the first night as a vampire or just bit by a vampire or like that, like that's like a 24-hour period, like from the time that you wake up as a vampire to the time that you fall asleep that night when sun
Yeah.
comes out.
But if we
So that's a measurable clip.
if we restrict it to some kind of like rule set like that, it could be like you wake up in the back of the van and there's blood everywhere and you have to get out of that van as the kind of trap or whatever, and then you find a vampire's collar or something that gives you rage or something, and then you jump out and the guy that bit you's standing right out front of there or something, just so it's one encounter instead of 3 to 8 encounters for a story.
30 to 40 if the character won't
leading.
follow where the game master wants them to go. So 30 random encounters.
Yeah, that's where I was leading to on the first one. So I figured
I think he's trying to kill us.
Yeah. And I was also going to put into this thing like health and then armor, and then we could even like mainly do the D20 unless it's a story that we want to roll with and just have fun with. The main the main stories I remember doing roll versus roll with is mainly like just like apocalyptic superhero stuff where it like you don't really understand what's happening anyway, so a roll versus roll just kind of makes the story.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for most of them we can set you look like you're somewhere else. Look at that.
Ooh, it's fancy, huh?
Wow. You're like
I
a
know.
portaler.
I know, it's very sexy.
It cuts off all your sexy hair though. You look
Yeah, I mean, that's just
you look
gonna
very
happen.
nunnish.
Oh, there's so many to choose from. I like this one.
Wow.
That's festive and weird. I just wasn't digging the outdoor of the house here for some reason. Yes, I agree. We do have to figure out some sort of cliff, but I'm not sure what it will be. I think many of them will solve themselves, but for this kind of thing, it's like, yeah, one magic item and then the boss. Maybe that's the dream.
Yeah. And then like trying to incorporate a trap into it or something.
I'll do this with my hair, and that way it stays in the picture. That's
yeah, line main it out, and it'll hopefully capture.
Yeah.
You might need to put googly eyes in your hair for it to register it as a human face.
As eyes. This is rad.
Okay. Dang it, I don't even think I have that sheet anymore of the first stuff that we made.
What, the things that I rolled?
Well, let's
my stats. Yeah, we should probably re-roll those.
All those we can your guy failed
so bad.
It the fairy teleported to another dimension, and it takes.
But I only got one chance.
50 years to figure out a way portal to even try to traverse dimensions, and as soon as he does, he winds up in the planes of fire, and it doesn't last long for him.
That sounds like a Dale story.
I understand why he does it now.
That's how you
have
start.
You have to get on to the next thing, so there has to be a horrid thing that happens.
So are we moving forward, or am we starting as my character as a 70-year-old who can barely lift his hammer?
No. At 70 years old, he died in fire.
Oh, well, you know. So he did it. Well, of course he didn't make it through. He didn't make it to 70. He got a 7 Constitution and a 7 Dexterity. He could neither dodge nor survive anything.
He had a few stat boosts up until that. He put all of his stat boosts into Constitution and just ate well and tried to figure out how to get through the dimensions, and then finally jumped. And you know what he was missing? He was missing the universal GPS, the time space GPS. He jumped into the machine without the ability to control where you're going. He thought a compass was all that he needed, but
no dial.
Yeah, sadly, the magnetic poles of that world weren't the same as this one, so the compass that he had didn't make any sense. The few seconds he stayed alive.
That sounds truly awful.
Yeah. Okay. So
you want me to roll for all that, or we'll just assume that I rolled like I did last game?
Yeah. So
because assuming that same arc, I went back and looked. I succeeded in 2 out of 10 rolls.
So do you want a GM and I'll either pick a scenario or you pick a scenario?
No, it has to be random.
Okay.
I mean, I'll
Let's
GM,
do.
but the
Let's just
scenario
do.
has to be
Let's
random.
each pick 2, and we'll do like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll roll for it. Are you in the dice?
Instead of the 8 that we already chose, you just don't pick 8. We got to work our way through these 10, unless you have a better
I
one.
just deleted that thing, and I
the whole list.
I deleted that list.
Okay, so
You pick one. I got one.
I'm gonna go with Old West deputy with a kidnapped townsfolk or something.
Okay. Like you're the deputy who kidnapped.
No, I've never rolled that scenario. I'm trying to think of scenarios I've never rolled before. I've never played that scenario before.
Okay, zombie apocalypse, but we're astronauts that just launched in a spaceship up to outer space.
So zombie apocalypse on a ship?
Yeah, on a spaceship going to space.
Okay. That sucks.
Yeah, it was kind of.
That's a short game.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 15-minute that one.
What's the first thing you do? I break that glass. I'm breaking it. Full speed into the stratosphere. Break it.
Oh, I mean, yes or never mind. I'm not going to say. We'll play that one out. I'm not going to argue that one way or the other. Because I can think of lots of scenarios there.
Oh, I got one.
I do too. First level assassin. First assassination.
Okay. An archaeologist who is digging up some old bones and falls through a portal to the Jurassic period with dinosaurs everywhere.
Another short one. And end scene.
Okay.
Like how long is that gonna last after that?
All right. Let's roll versus roll to see who gets the D4.
Oh wait, let You've got some good I mean, we've got a couple of good standards in turning our back on. You know, Just Bit by a Vampire is a really good one.
We'll just do
Okay, we'll save it for later. So this is standard roll versus roll.
Roll versus roll.
And that is
D100 low is the winner.
Give me a sec. I'm obviously not in that role.
Darkness knocking sticks.
Darkness knocking sticks.
Yeah.
What?
Not
Ogre. I can't be Ogre anymore.
Yeah, you can be Ogre. That's what I was. Connor, you were Ogre last time. That's our names.
I'm in it still.
Oh,
are you in it?
Look at you, 62, huh? Ready?
Yeah. No, I was just checking to see if it was working, but I'll take this. I'll take the 62 though. That's a good win.
Beat me back for free. Okay, fine.
But what does that mean? That means
now
that I get to roll the D4?
So it's your fault you get something you don't want to play.
Is this list in reality or just in your mind?
It's in our mind, and if we get it wrong, it's recorded. So,
well, then what do we know what 1, 2, 3, and 4 are?
1 is One's the cowboy abducting people. 2 is the spaceship zombies. 3 is the assassin.
Okay.
4 is Jurassic. Oh yeah!
Oh goddamn!
Yeah, I wanted to play that one. Let's go.
All right. Give me 1 second, please.
Should I roll my stats?
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll from top to bottom. 9 strength, 16 dexterity, 12 constitution, 11 wisdom, 8 intelligence, 8 charisma. I'll take that. I mean, I'll take it.
Do we have Monster Manual somewhere as a PDF? Oh, I'm opening it right now. Never mind. I'm going to use the 3.5 because, why wouldn't I?
It translates.
I mean, I'm not going to use the 5e. Not that I have anything against 5e to all you 5e lovers. So sorry. I'm so sorry that you like it. Here we go.
They just never had the chance.
Page 60. Oh yeah. It's not really 60.
11. What was it? 1188. That's right. Trying to raise my intelligence. That's a very 8 intelligence thing to do.
That is a very 8 intelligence thing to do.
HP. I say we should just randomly roll HP, like
I don't know.
a D10 or
HP is
D12.
HP is easy. HP is give me a second here.
Well, it's for whatever class you have, but if I'm an archaeologist, what do they start off? A D8?
An archaeologist. They start with a D6 at best. Well, I guess if they're in the field, they have to be a little tougher than the average bear.
That's what
a
I
toughie.
thought. They might have been on the high-ranking HP scale of science-y guys. So D8. So 8 plus my con. So I start with 9 health. My armor class is like claw. Maybe I got some leather on, so I'll start at 12. Okay, my character.
You have you. What's your name?
Thomas, the Komodo dragon.
Thomas, the Komodo dragon, Berkowitz.
No, the Komodo dragon's his last name.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is obviously a Gen Z archaeologist, as you put it.
It's technically pronounced. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what I said first now.
His first name?
His intelligence is 8. He can't remember his last name.
The tank engine. Thomas the tank engine. So basically, when people ask him his name, he says, the Komodo dragon.
But somehow, Thomas.
But somehow, this person has strived against the nearly impossible journey of making it through college. With an 8 intelligence.
You have to understand something about this guy. The only thing he's good at is getting dirt off of bones without breaking them. Because he has a 9 strength and 16 dex.
How does the 9 strength help?
You don't overpower it, ever.
That's for sure.
You don't... maybe you does 9. Do
So
you get a minus
so
9 or
without
8?
without putting too much emphasis on any of this, uh, let's say that the Komodo dragon is actually the child of lead archaeologist um, who
We
has found
smuggled into
the
Egypt.
only use for their child and their great love is to remove dirt from bones. And so, as part of a large excavation project in Arizona, particularly part of a grant from the Bill Gates Foundation, in an attempt to extract actual viable DNA
from the potato farm.
from the vast number of, well, they plant potato farms to sell to McDonald's after they take all the bones off of them. That's a whole different thing. That's Ohio and Idaho. We're talking about Arizona right now. So we're in this archaeological dig, which is pretty high tech as far as those things go, because of the gene splicing and sequencing equipment. It really looks more like a NASA test site than anything else, not to mention the giant hangar, which holds a whole different test, which is in fact financing the entire thing, which no one talks about, which everyone, of course, knows is a time machine.
Yes. Well, I'm
So,
obviously naturally curious as a child.
Quell, what does the Komodo dragon usually wear and carry on their person in an average day?
This child?
Yes.
He has. I was thinking like the best weapon is probably like a pick. He tries to like copy his dad in the field, so he has all those instruments and stuff, and like leather, like light leather armor for the outside of the clothes and stuff, like cloth armor, cloth clothes and leather armor. Pick as a main weapon, and then I probably have like chisels as like small daggers or something, like small poking daggers.
Do you have a backpack, any kind of equipment like a water bottle or rope or any other thing that the average person would carry in the waist, or are you pretty much just a chimpanzee in a pair of shorts with a tool belt?
I'm gonna say no backpack for this adventure, but I'm carrying a thermos of water and my tools, like a tool belt with my thermos in it, and I probably have some amount of rope, and like climbing gear or something, and then my excavation tools.
Okay, so it's a day like any other. You can't wait to get out there in the baking hot Arizona sun.
So excited.
And
I'm so tan.
so excited, so excited. Your dad and mom have found the greatest site. It is most likely the largest full site of a large scale battle between a herd of triceratops and a large group of some sort of a mega raptor, possibly even a T-Rex. And it's they've worked their way through all of the Triceratops stuff, which you fucking love, but now they're actually getting to the part where they're figuring out what it is that caused that they were all running from and caused so much chaos. And you're, kind of have your hopes about what kind of dinosaur it's going to be, but you can't wait to get out there and start sweeping away at that dust on top of that top layer and to find the hidden gem that's below it. And as usual, you're laden down with, your supplies and probably a lot of other people's supplies, given the fact that you're basically a glorified pack mule on this expedition.
Hey, I uncovered a bone before they found out what I was doing and stripped me off of it really fast.
Lot of them, many times have they had to pull you off of bones. Fortunately, the bones are rather tough, and you kind of figure out a delicate touch to it, and so you have you got to go pick up some tools and bring them to the site, and they give you very specific directions. It's going to be in the A lockup. It's in locker A5. Give me a percentage roll to remember that information.
Like a D20?
No, percentage roll. Just a straight.
10.
Okay, so you remember that it's in the A building. And now give me another roll to remember which part of that building it's in.
Yes. I'm so excited to get this.
You are so excited, and you're really excited when you really you commit it into your head and you start moving the direction. You're really excited because there's a type of vibro tool there which you can use to remove all kinds of almost concreted layers on top of the bones, and all you've ever been able to do or been allowed to do before was use the dust and stuff. And so this is where the super high-tech tools are kept, and so you kind of feel like a special step of responsibility. You walk up to the building.
So responsible with it.
You're going to be so responsible with it. You walk up to the building, and there's various levels of checkpoints. You have a lanyard that's just part of your kit. And so what do you do?
So I'm looking for something specific in the building.
Yes, you know that if you go to building A and you go to the room number 5, that there's a vibro cleaner that you're supposed to. Yes, okay. But it's the first time you've ever been into this area, so this particular building, because you just never have been allowed to before.
Yeah, I'm going to go look for it. However, I'm also going to very precisely look for a smaller one of those devices. I think I could hide inside of my toolkit.
Okay. So you walk up to the front door. There's a guard. There's a very simple thing where you just stick your lantern on and it either lets you in or it doesn't.
I fumble. No.
Okay.
No.
This guard, just give me a straight percentage roll.
40.
This dragon, this guy knows you. He's like, "Oh, dragon, yeah, you're coming in today. Okay, all right. Where are you going? What are you looking for?"
They sent me over to get the vibra chisel thing they needed on the new project, and
he types into his laptop there, and he pops up and goes, "Oh yeah, yeah. You're going to room 5. You know where that is, yeah?"
Yep. Thank you very much.
All right, you're all cleared, and the opens up, and in you go. It's very simple. It's just basically a warehouse. Inside of it has 5 rooms, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. and they all have magnetic locks on the outside. There's no one else in here at the moment.
So I'm assuming he's unlocking the door for me.
He unlocked the outside door that leads into it,
and then just walking.
His guard gate is outside. There's no one inside the building. Once you walk into the metal doors, they closed, and you're the only person in this ante room, which is about 100 feet wide, probably about 30 feet deep, and then you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doors, each of them having a security lock on the outside.
Okay.
Lights come on, like as you get to those areas, lights kind of come on and off. That kind of labor saving light thing.
I'm going to attempt to open the first one.
Okay. You walk up to the door. It's kind of like just like the other one. You just do a little swipe.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a percentage roll.
35.
You're like, yeah, I know how to do this. Whoosh! Great wrist technique. Beep. Nothing happens.
Okay, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna go to the 5.
Okay. You go to 5.
Oh, this says 1. Yeah, 5. Okay, right there. Yeah.
Okay, you go to 5. You are extremely nervous right now. You thought like it was going to be cool to see if you could just pop in there, and then when it went blam, like there's cameras here, you've seen all of that, and so make a contested roll. Okay, so you go directly straight like you should to door number 4, and you in your nervousness, you like da 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 da, like as only a truly stupid person can act stupid, and you slide up to 5, and you walk right up to 4. You're like 5 it is, and you go to swipe. Go ahead and make another percentage roll.
41.
All right. Bleep, goes all red, and you like almost
shit my pants.
feel like you might shit in your pants, just a little bit. You need to fart, but you don't know whether it's going to be a fart or it's going to be a little bit of a because you're that like ready to shit your pants. What do you do next?
I'm gonna really search for 5 right now, and not the other numbers that come before it.
Okay, so you're like, okay, I got this, and you go back. You're like 1, no, 2, 3, 4, no, and then the last one is 5. You're reasonably certain you've got it. Okay, so you go to use your swipe card. And beep, green, door pops open with a little bit of a hiss, like it's actually, hermetically sealed in there.
I look over to one of the cameras that, if I know that there's where one is, and I yell, "You guys need to label these way better."
Make a perception roll, 100%, 130. You look at the camera and you're all like trying to play it off, and you say that, and you noticeably see the camera go. And you turn around and you're looking at the doors, and you realize that it's Roman numerals, so they are clearly marked.
Hey, I have an 8 intelligence.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, you just realized, oh, they are clearly marked. But anyway, the door's open. What do you do?
I rush in and immediately look for security cameras inside this box, inside this room.
Make a perception roll.
27.
Okay, you walk in, and because you're in a shit my pants sort of moment, you take the time to look all over, and you reasonably feel as if you've spotted at least four cameras in the corners of this room looking in. Plus, you can see that there are at least 8 workstations, all of which have computers, which of course have cameras. So you with your 27, you feel like that there's probably no section of this that isn't actually being watched to some degree or another,
Okay,
or could be.
I'm gonna go to grab the thing that I need to grab. While I'm doing it, I'm also going to try and sleight of hand with my very dexterousness one of the smaller tools into my bag.
All right, so you look into the room. There is a one open workstation that has tools on it. There's something obvious, a small piece of electronics that like is there on the middle of the table. Looks like maybe that's what they were working on. Next to that is a very large round thing, like 30 feet round metal cylinder with a doorway in it. The Then there are several other stacks of very clearly labeled high-tech boxes with like the name of what's inside them on there. Make a percentage roll.
51.
What's your intelligence?
8.
So it takes you a while, but you realize you just stand there looking at all those boxes that all of those gigantic fucking words on them, like you get to the point where you're like, oh, chisel, okay, I think I know which one it is. All of these are security locked as well. So like you imagine, okay, I think it's this one. So you could walk over, do the same simple thing, beep. But beyond all of the different cases that carry whatever tools of the trade is, the only stuff that's laying out are a couple of like hand tools, precision screwdrivers, meters, and one thing that make a percentage roll.
Yes, 98.
Yeah, you have no fucking idea what it is. It's basically like a black square with buttons on it. Like it could be a remote control to a television. It could literally turn the monitors on, or it could control an RC car or whatever. So you do have to pass that table. You do have to pass that table in order to get to where you think the box is that you're pretty sure has the chisel in it. So like if that's where you're going to do your sleight of hand moment, like that's where you figure you'd have to do it.
Yes, I'm going to grab that thing and slip it into my pocket. And while pressing the power button on it, as I'm going to grab the thing I need.
Okay. What are you gonna try and do with it? You're gonna palm it and then like slip it up a sleeve, or try and put it into a pocket, or like
I'm gonna like
what half-brained thing are you gonna try and do right now?
I'm just gonna like palm it as I'm going to grab the box that I need, and then like as I'm bringing the box closer to me, I slip the remote into my pocket.
And your dexterity is what? 16?
16, yeah.
Okay, so you have a natural 48 in that. Let's do a contested roll to see if there's just some possibility that you actually have some sleight of hand skill.
Oh!
Okay, so a dex times 3 would be your base chance with no skill. So that would be a 48% chance. You walk over there. You're like, oh, I think this is where I should be going. And then you reach over and you very dexterously grab it and stick it in your pocket. So roll to pick it up.
68.
Yeah, you totally successfully bump into it and knock it like way further away than it was, like a foot and a half away. You can try for a second grab, or you can just walk on by and pretend nothing ever happened. What do you want to do?
I'm going to grab it and put it back where it was and just press the power button.
Okay. I'm going to say give me a roll. You'd have to fumble to not grab it, but you're so nervous right now.
Yeah.
All right, you grab it like a champ.
Yeah.
You grab it like a fucking champ. You're like, okay, how do I fix this? I need, I better put that back. And I won't make you roll a separate perception roll because you got a critical roll there. So we'll say, you take it and you move it to where you think it was, and like you and you really look at it. So there is a green button and there is a red button, and there are a lot of numbers, buttons, and a lot of sines and cosines and tangents and arcs, and like you've seen calculators like this in labs before around your parents' stuff. Like you have no idea how to use a calculator like this. Like you have a calculator and it adds, subtracts, multiplies, and divides, but like this is something like that's the closest thing that you've ever seen that even comes close to this. So
it's a calculator with alien symbols on it for me.
No, you actually have seen all of the symbols before. You don't know what the fuck they are, but like they literally
they're not
are
1,
like
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
They are. There are those buttons, but then there are also buttons that are literally tan, cosine, sine, like all of these higher math, delta, all of these other symbols that are higher math symbols.
So I'm freaking out about a regular calculator.
Well, you might be. You don't know. Like that's I'm just describing like the only thing that you've ever seen that even looks close to this, but those calculators didn't have, a big red and a big green button,
Yeah,
so
I still want to press the green button.
Okay. You press the green button. You press the green button and you hear a soft sound, and make a perception roll.
32.
Okay. Several things happen very quickly. The big cylinder next to you, the big silver cylinder, for better words, 10 feet tall, 30 feet wide, a door kind of appears in the surface and recesses and goes psh, way different sound than when the outer door of this opened, like actually cooling gases or some crazy shit comes out of it. And you can see that there's light on the interior of this. And then several, like maybe a second later, flashing red, like emergency lights go off in the room, and a like 150 decibel klaxon goes off. In just the world. What do you do?
Um, so the thing like opens, like the door of it opens.
Yeah, it like goes inside in one solid high tech as fuck looking door that obviously totally seals once it's sealed, but you've seen all kinds of stuff like this on television, but you've never seen it in a lab, especially an archaeological lab.
I am going to grab the thing I came here for. In its thing, I'm expecting it's in like a briefcase or something that I can like grab and bring with me. And
How strong are you?
9 strength.
It's right. You can grab it. It's a big like metal and ballistic like plastic box. You know what I mean? Like heavy
Yeah.
duty. It's big. It's not small. It's you can totally get it, but it's like right at the limit. Like you wouldn't want to run down a football field with it.
Yeah,
Like it's good sized.
I'm gonna grab that, grab the remote, and run right into the machine and start spamming buttons on the remote.
Okay. You go over to it and grab a hold of the obvious handles on it. You know, it's stacked with all these other ones, and you go to pull on it, and it doesn't budge.
Oh, okay. I'm just grabbing the remote and jumping in then.
Okay, you make a perception roll. What's your intelligence? Hold on a second here. What's your Shizen, give me a second. I'm trying to actually use this shit. Where did I have that? It's right here.
My intelligence is 8. Which, if it's a ×3, I got it because I rolled a 24.
I just want to remember what the hell perception is based upon in my world.
Wisdom.
Ah, shit. How come I can't see this sheet? Sorry.
I might have one of them right here.
You have one of the shit sheets right there?
Yeah, I definitely have them somewhere in my room.
I have, no, I have one right here. For some reason, it's not, I don't know what it's doing.
The shit sheet. The sheet my dad and uncle made for
20 years ago.
very own gaming.
I was sick of everyone else's gaming systems.
Is what were you looking for? Perception?
Perception.
I don't know. Perception's under the mental thing.
It's right above wit. God damn it. I don't know what's going on with my Adobe. It's like it froze. Oh, Adobe's frozen. Okay.
Yeah, perception's its own stat in the shit sheet. Not really a combination of stuff. Alertness or
Oh man, there's got to be a formula for it. Perception. I think it's because like it's intelligence and wisdom together, right?
yeah, the alertness is wits and perception in the shit. So it's basically like wisdom and intelligence.
Oh, perception is a key characteristic in the shit. It's not.
Yeah.
It's one of those key characteristics. Okay,
Yeah.
So let's do. Well, let's just make it simple. Let's just do it intelligence ×3.
Yeah, I landed.
I'll go back and rework that. So you made that roll, which is extraordinary.
Yeah, perfectly, right on the money.
Yes, and you hear that there are definitely people coming. You are literally steps ahead of the posse. You also have a thought that you might be able to get that box to come loose if you use your security lanyard.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I didn't want to spend time doing that right now. I have that plan to do it eventually. I'm just trying to get this thing to work because I have some idea
but
that this
you
is
know
some awesome machine.
you with that 24, like you know that like you think you have enough time to probably do one, possibly do two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can hear that they're in the outer area. Like the guards already, the klaxon went off. You went over, grabbed that shit, started pulling on it. At least that guard's already made it into that first outer area.
Oh no
I'm
no!
just trying
If the box isn't budging, I'm just gonna grab the remote and go into the thing.
Right. The box doesn't budge.
Yeah.
You go look at the remote.
Yeah.
You make your perception roll.
Yeah.
You realize how close people really are. You grab the remote. You go, at that point, are you going to go into the door or are you going to try and get the...
No, I'm just going into the machine.
Okay, so you grab the remote, you jump into the machine, and what do you do?
I just press the random buttons on the bottom and then hit the red one.
Okay, give me a straight percentage roll.
67.
Okay, you are like just furiously whacking away at that, and like it's like throwing up like a E5 and then an E9 and then like you don't even it might like it's trying to tell you something but you don't even really know what it is. Make a perception roll.
42.
You don't know what's going on. There you want to take a moment and look around you.
Yeah, are there any buttons inside or something?
This is obviously somewhere that has 4 separate workstations in it. There's buttons in front of all 4 of those workstations. It's they're all lit up and there's screens on and like it's powered up and ready to go as far as you can tell. To the point where like the floor is actually humming with vibrational something.
So it looks like I need to go hit the buttons on those stations.
There's tons of buttons to hit, and you have an 8 intelligence, so that's all I'm saying. Like the buttons you're hitting are just throwing error codes. You don't know what they're saying to you, but there's lots of other buttons in this room. So you what do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna dash out and press the best looking button.
Okay, give me a percentage roll.
7.
All right, you go over to this one and you're like, okay, this looks like that, and I'm gonna just hit this. And there's a big green button, and you punch it, and you what's your constitution?
12.
Make a con times 5, so a 70.
21.
All right, you like everything starts like vibrating, like the room's vibrating, you're touching is vibrating, like you're vibrating. You kind of start feel like you're actually being torn apart on a molecular level. It's not fun at all. It's painful. It's like weird in a weird invasive way, and you get to a point where you don't actually lose consciousness, but you just see white. And then the there's like a thud, like there was this zzz, and then like it all stopped, but it stopped like almost like you there's something underneath you, like you landed on something.
Like I was smacked by the hand of God.
Well, no, oddly enough, it kind of feels like you were like lovingly caught in a big catcher's mitt or something. Like you don't like your brain is like you don't know what to relate it to, but it was like the world was like zzz, and then all of a sudden it stopped very in this one direction at your feet, but it doesn't like knock you to the ground or anything. It's not even like hard. It's like just but stopped.
Yeah.
Um, lights are all on. Um, the everything's normal. Like as far as you can tell, what do you do?
I pressed the green button.
You press that same green button, and the readout. We can just say that you can read enough English that that you say it says destination achieved. You press it, it just wipes. It goes destination achieved.
I succeeded third grade English.
Yeah. Eventually.
Yeah.
For our listeners, we're basing this on a human scale of 18, where 10 to 12 would be the average. And so Connor is just a little below the average.
Yeah. Yeah, 10,
The
10's
the,
usually
the Komodo dragon.
yeah, 10, 11's usually that average mark. So anything above or below is just above or below the average intelligence,
Okay.
dexterity, strength of a normal human.
Make a perception roll.
Yes, 97.
Yeah, there's like nothing else on this that makes any sense at all on where you're looking right now. Like the green button makes a lot of sense, but the rest of it, this is like, nope.
Okay, is it completely enclosed, or is there any like way to see outside of this? Is there
It's
any windows or something?
completely enclosed. You don't there. You don't. It's not like the Starship Enterprise. There's no screens or ports or anything like that. I mean, there are all these screens that these different stations, but the station that you're on now, like you got no idea what's going on with that station.
I'm gonna press the green button again.
Okay, destination achieved. Same
I'm gonna
same
press the
thing
red
pops up.
button.
There isn't actually a red button here. You could search around and look for one.
Not on the controller.
Not on the remote control.
Yeah, I'm gonna press the red button on the controller.
Okay, you press the red button on the remote controller. It says abort default, destination achieved.
Okay. I'm going to try and pry apart the door with my tools.
Okay, make a perception roll.
Third.
Okay, you're like trying. You're like, okay, I just need to pry my way out. I can do this. And you walk over to the door and you realize that there's the same security lock next to it that works for everything else with your lanyard.
Yes! Should have thought of that. I swipe my lanyard across the security door.
Okay. You swipe your lanyard and it pops in towards you, the door, and then slides, and you notice several things at once. It is intensely humid. Like 100 degrees with 110% humidity humid. Like Central Florida or Myrtle Beach
Like
in
like
July
Florida
humid.
in between rains.
Right after, like a 3 o'clocker when it's 100 degrees. It's
Yeah.
that level. It's like it's a little hard to breathe level, and
Yeah.
you're used to the desert,
Yeah.
so like it's super like it's actually hard to breathe. That's the first thing you notice. The second you notice is the smell. Fortunately, you survived COVID and got your sense of smell back,
Yeah.
and unfortunately,
No brain damage.
it is like literally rot, like a level of animal vegetable rotting smell like you've never imagined in your life.
Roll
um
Constitution.
what's that?
I said roll Constitution for vomiting.
You can. You'd have to fumble to. You're good with
Go
it. You're
38.
good with it. I mean, it's like it's a little rough, but it's not. It's just you've never really smelled it before. Like
I haven't eaten lunch
like
yet.
imagine it had just rained, like we said before, and you were standing next to an open dumpster.
Yes.
So, what do you do?
I step out and take a few steps to investigate what the smell is and get a better understanding of my surroundings.
Okay, you go to step through the door. It is daylight. Um, you immediately realize that the reason why that you got such a soft feeling below you is that the the cylinder that you're in now is actually in several feet of sand.
Oh, good.
You can see ocean from the perspective you're in. You're only maybe 100 yards from the ocean, and make a perception roll.
59.
Okay. If you had made a perception roll, you would have had time to react to the cockroach that's flying at your face. And by cockroach, I mean a 3.5 foot long palmetto bug.
Oh, I bet that hurts when the wings slap into you.
It is rolling to hit. Okay, so it's like gonna land on the front of you, obviously. Um, Face, chest, torso, some of that. Mandibles, like brrr, legs all coming out. Like you, what the fuck do you do?
It hasn't hit me yet.
You can dodge or you can block.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get out of its way. Just dash
You're
out
gonna
of its way.
literally try and hurl yourself out of its way.
Yeah.
Now, since you did not make a perception roll, you're gonna your dodge is gonna be at half. So your dex times 6 would be your natural dodge, which is pretty fucking high, I'd imagine.
Dex 16 times 6 is
Yeah, that's 96
90. Yeah.
natural dodge. But you're at half because you're completely surprised. So you're at like 44.
Oh, come on, 81.
All right. So your health is your constitution times 3, I think, on the shit.
Okay, so 36. Well,
All right.
that's more than 9.
Okay, so you take 7 points to your face. No, yes. No, 6. Sorry, you take 6 points to your face
Oh,
as
wow.
it hits you, grabbing on with its legs all up and down the front of your body, and its face is now attached to your face.
Oh, good. Like biting me attached?
Full on, like it got a it gets 6 damage. It did 6 damage and it hit you in your 1.
Okay. I
Give
am
me
going.
a Constitution times 5 roll, please.
Yeah. Yep, you're
All
welcome.
right, you totally keep it together and don't vomit in its face that's on
Ah,
your.
ah, ah. Okay, I am going to try to grab a hold of it and pull it off of me while flailing to the ground and rolling.
Okay. So that would be athletics, which would be in this situation. Whew, man, this is a high difficulty level. I'd say this is strength times 3. To actually do all of that, I think it'd be strength times 3.
Here we go. 80. Yes.
Okay, so
Ah, 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 ah.
you take 5 points of damage to your face. Give me a second. Oh, sorry. I'm going to see its reaction to your attack. Okay, so the bad news is what ended up happening is you did knock both of you off your feet, but after slamming to the ground and driving its face more into your face, it ended up on top of you.
Good. This is what I was trying to have happen.
The
Now,
good news
I
is
have him right where I want him.
the good news is its attack. So it is going to try to inject digestive fluids into the hole.
Into my mouth?
Or face, but yes, mouth. Like its pincers are like here. So not so much this, but definitely same cavity.
So it's through my mouth through my cheeks.
Yes.
Cool. As long as we're on the same page.
So you take
I've lost a third of my health through my mouth.
yes. So 3 points of damage of having digestive acid poured into your mouth and face. What do you do? This isn't going well, and you're not out the door yet.
I am going to try to grab a hold of one of my picks and jab it and hopefully not get myself in the face.
All right. Given your dexterity, we can just assume that you are able to get it free. Now, the roll to hit here is interesting. Normally, I would say that you using one of those tools would be a strength blow. But your character is so attuned to doing things carefully that you might actually be able to have let's go for a power, exactly. Let's go power versus power, and if you win, then you can finesse those tools and use your dex to hit instead of your strength.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, not that one. Not that one. Sorry.
3. Cool. That's awesome.
All right, here we go. Beat a.
Hi, I did it once. I did it one time. I did it. It's possible. All I have to do is roll a 1 right now out of 100.
Right? I'll just even give you a critical. You get 5 or under, and we'll call it good.
Yeah, I got an 80, so.
Okay, so you're in a situation right now where there's nothing to do but thrash and slam, and so your roll to hit is your strength. Let's see, strength times 3 plus plus at least 10 because it's a really familiar weapon to you. So like maybe 20. So what's your
20,
strength?
27. Well, my strength is 9, so 27 plus 20.
So plus 20. So you have 47. So we'll give you 47% chance to attack.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No
Give me a 12.
lower than it.
Give me a 12. 12 is what we use for hit location.
Right in the foot.
11,
Rip
right
one
at
of
the
its
foot.
legs off. Yes.
Yep. You definitely damage is D10 for a pick. Sure. Let's have 2. Yeah, you definitely inconvenienced one of its feet.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm in the game now.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem to notice. It is going to. It's going to continue to just hold on to you and try and pump fluids into you.
That's really cool.
Yeah. It succeeds. I'm sorry to say.
It diseased?
And you take an additional 2 points
Succeeds.
of acid damage to your outside of your face.
At least he's not biting me anymore.
Roll to hit.
Here we go. Oh. I have to select dice. Here we go. Wow!
Wow, that was close.
Wow! 2 over. Wow! Rolling for a 47,
All right.
and I got 49.
You're lucky. It tried to, because all it's doing right now is just holding on to you dearly and trying to quick digest you. So it fails to inject any more fluid into that one cavity. So good for you.
All right, I'm gonna swing again. Yes.
Okay, 10 points of damage to the, or 1d10 to the.
7 points of damage.
7 points, yes. To the thigh. Okay, another leg.
Hand.
No, 5, 6 would be a hand, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hand.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is hand. So we'll call it a hand. So yeah, one of the right into the shoulder or the upper part that's holding on to the upper part of your body. Yeah, you definitely hit it. It lets go, in fact, of your face. And then it goes to bite you in a different place.
I'm gonna get my penis out of the way.
Oh goodness! Would you like to try and block? It seems to be going for your neck or chest area. You could block with your pick, perhaps, or maybe just try and dodge.
Between it as it's coming.
You could. You get a dodge at half, or I'll give you a block at full.
Yeah, I'll block it with my pick.
So 47% chance to block with the pick.
Oh my gosh.
48. That was really close.
Yeah.
That was really you thought you were pretty sure you were going to get it there in time, but you don't.
Yeah, cool.
And so you take
fight damage. Fight with
six more to your. This is to the chest.
I'm at half health, I think.
Give me 1 second, please.
Yeah.
I need to actually pay attention to what's going on right here so I don't shortchange you. Cockroach.
Cockroach 3.5.
No, yeah, 3.5. It's probably in the back under bug, I bet. Giant. Oh, here we go.
I think like giant centipede might be the
284. Okay, I think it's like 280s. Tiger. Viper. Shark. Either right before the second, after the
second. I'm at 10% battery.
Oh no. On what?
On my phone that I'm using to use the video.
Oh, great.
And
all right. What do you do?
I attack.
Okay.
$76. Cool.
Hey, good for you. I just found the stats for bugs. And they're significantly weaker than I would have made them.
Well,
is a plus
Jurassic bugs
in your monstrous size. Okay, it rolls to hit. Sorry, I'm in the wrong section now. Back to where the dice roll. Okay.
I'm gonna go get an extension cord for my phone while you figure that out real quick.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. And I thought it was going to be comical to be attacked by a giant cockroach. That's what I know. So, you know what I thought was? I thought it was going to be a kind of like a light comical intro to the adventure to have to deal with a cockroach. You know what I mean? Kind of like a building moment.
The what?
I really like put it out there as kind of like a comical jump scare of a moment.
Yeah, I was very unsuccessful, I would say, at defending myself from it in the beginning. So,
or noticing it was flying at your face, even.
yeah, yeah.
But I mean, in your defense, you were just looking out at a whole new world.
I'm very confused. I don't know. But if my character at all understood that they were working on like, even if he heard his dad say under his breath one day that they're working on a time machine, he would have been very excited to mess around with something like this.
What do you do? Attack. Oh, it attacked. I'm sorry to say.
Oh, he attacked. Cool. 9, yeah.
Yeah, 9. Yeah. It's not a critical. You can block it with a regular block.
Here we go. Oh.
Okay. So yeah. It goes for another bite, trying to get a better purchase on your shoulder where it was going, and you're able to get it in between. What do you do?
I'm gonna. It's on the ground.
You're on your back.
Okay, cool.
Your pick is sideways between you and its face.
Oh, it's coming at me like that. Okay.
And it has, at least as far as you can tell, 4 remaining legs holding on to you.
Okay, I'm just gonna try and stab it again.
Okay, so you're gonna try and whip it out from in between the two of your faces and hit it again. Because it's the only thing stopping it from biting your chest right now is the pick. Is all I'm saying. I'm not telling you not to do it.
I'm going to try to flip it over in this position and then get on top of it and drive my pick into it.
Okay, so you're gonna go straight strength versus strength.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
If this character isn't stronger than a 3-foot beetle, then that really says something about him. But a 3-foot beetle might. I mean, what about a 3-foot dung beetle? I mean, that thing might be able to push a car.
Or a 3-foot cockroach? Come on. Trying to figure out what the strength. Okay. Strength versus strength. Okay. Got it. It has to get a 30 to even be successful. Okay, here we go. Was that?
Well, I got better than it, but I did not succeed.
Okay, so we're in the exact same position we were to begin with.
We both just struggled right now, and we're still in the same position.
You're still in the same position. It goes for another bite.
Get out of here.
It lunges up, and it kind of almost seems to be like, I don't know where to bite. I can't bite through this pick, and it looks like it's kind of go for your face again. So you have a moment of clear strike if you want to go for it.
Yeah. Strike at it as it backs up.
Here we go. Fumble. Coming up.
Yes!
All right.
13. Let's go.
Damage.
Come on, 10. 9 damage. Yeah.
All right.
To the face, to the 4. Right to the thorax. Yes.
Okay. You get that swing in you whip it out, you swing in from the side. It goes right where let's say the neck meets the chest and just goes right in and just green, nasty goop just comes spraying out the other side. It nearly immediately lets go of you with its legs and tries to like scuttle brokenly away from you across the room.
Fuck that! I'm finishing you, buddy. You did way too much damage to my mouth holes.
In your mouth holes. Okay, you're gonna go for a free hit.
Hey, at
Go
least
ahead.
it's much easier to breathe in this very wet air.
We'll talk about the bleeding soon, but we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah. 59 for my attack.
All right, use the free attack. It's not moving. It's like you'd have to fumble to miss it.
Oh, good.
You hit it just enough times to make it stop moving.
Yeah, another 7 to the...
Like any cockroach, like you
Thanks,
hit it a
boss.
bunch more times, and it just gets to a point where it like just is sitting there twitching, basically, and then stops.
Yeah.
What do you do?
So my plan...
Give me a second, bud. Give me a second here. I gotta go check something at the door.
All right. I'll explain slightly what's going on if there's any questions then. So this rolling system is much more different than the 5e rolling system or 3.5 rolling system. My dad and my uncle, when they were kids, made their own sheet that they call the shit sheet, and it works off of a percentage system. So you roll 100-sided dice pretty much. So you take like 2 10-sided dice and roll them. You dedicate one as the 10s and one as the 1s, and then it adds up to the double-digit number or whatever. And then the whole system kind of works based around your stats multiplied by whatever number depending on the scenario. So a lot of this stuff right now is like for me to flip the cockroach that was on top of me, it would be my strength times 4 or times 3 or whatever he decided it was. Times 3 times 4 is kind of like average to low for the rolls. If it's supposed to be an easier roll, it'll be like a times 5 or something. But I have a pretty low stat for strength, so it doesn't go that high. So if you have if you have a max stat of 18, and so you're rocking a big number for your strength or something, and then you go to strength roll out of something that's a times 5, you'd be at like 80-90%, depending on what your stat is and stuff. And so if you have a 90% to attack, all you do is then just roll the percentage, and the 72 would technically work it with a 90 percentage. In this, you're just trying to roll lower. That's the main kind of difference between the D20 rolling. Is D20 you're rolling high, and percentage you're rolling low.
All right.
A lot of the numbers are exaggerated too compared to 3.5 and 5e. Like starting health is usually a lot higher, and damage is usually a lot higher and stuff. All right. I was just explaining the kind of system that we're using and stuff compared to the normal D20 stuff and shit.
Yeah, I started using the percentage a long time ago because it's easier for people who don't understand D20 to just say, okay, you have a 67% chance of doing something, roll 67 or under, and most people can kind of rock with that pretty fast. And
yeah,
you and I doing stuff like this on the fly, where you're like, I don't know, what does it take to flip a 3-foot cockroach?
Yeah,
I think that would be strength times 4.
Yeah.
That makes those kind of easy conversions for playing games on the fly. Okay, so the first thing that you do after you stop smashing this thing is all of the head pain that you've been keeping at bay, like, comes slamming back home. Like getting into the ocean and it's really cold and you're trying not to get above your balls and all of a sudden a wave hits you in your face. Like that kind of level.
I'm gonna run to the ocean and try and shove my face into it and clean it out or whatever to stop this searing, agonizing bowel juice pain that's running through my face glands.
Okay, you run to the ocean.
Yeah.
With your decks, you don't really have any trouble, staggering through the sand. You're holding on to your head. Make a perception roll.
87. Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're really focused on the water. You can. There's that wasn't the only bug in the air. Like that cockroach was just one of bugs, and they're all big. And but you've got nothing but eyes on that water. Like you're not, you're just like running to the water. Give me another perception roll. You're like halfway there. You're running across the hot sand.
42.
As you're running across the sand, you can feel through your feet that it's like, almost feels like there's shifting boulders under the sand, like under your feet as you're running. Make a dexterity roll, so like dex times 6, which for you is almost automatic.
Yep.
You have to keep your feet, like there's something under your feet. There's living things under your feet, and you're halfway to the water. Are you going to stop running? Are you going to keep running? Are you going to keep heading for the water? What are you doing?
I'm just trying to get to the water to wash my face off.
Okay.
Even taking the next few steps and jumping into the water or something.
Okay, give me a dex roll, and an athletics, and then a perception roll.
Athletics 44, perception 26.
So you are able to totally keep your footing and keep running, even though what you're running disturbed what appears to be like a nest of sand fleas, but they're all like 2 feet big, and they're just all like up to the ground and like looking around and then like burrowing back in, and like you see that running behind you, like fuck. You keep going to the water. Waves coming up. Water looks beautiful. You're gonna just dive and throw your face right in.
Yeah, face first. Get into it to just thrash.
How deep are you gonna go in? How deep? You just enough to get your face in, or are you gonna like get half your body in?
Just like knee high or something, so I can get to my knees and bend over and wash everything and stuff.
Okay, make a Constitution times 5 roll.
Oh yeah, 52.
So
times 5.
70. You dive. You get on your hands and knees, and the surf just rushes over you and hits your face, and it kind of like feels amazing, and then hurts so much.
Yep.
That it's all you can do not to black out. Like you like get, you're like, whoa, I better not. And like you're in the water, thrashing around. There's no doubt that there are other things in the water, even at this depth. Like there's whatever, like whatever's in the water here, it's in the water there. So like whatever you can imagine at this depth, crabs, small fish, jellyfish, whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get out. My plan is to go back to the shuttle thing and dig it out as much as I can and try and drag it over to the water.
Like the time machine?
Yeah.
The time machine is a 10-foot tall, 30-foot round, solid steel room.
Okay. Not like a can of Pringles I was riding
It was nothing like a can of Pringles.
in. Okay.
It was, in fact,
Wow.
absolutely not a can of Pringles. You
Okay.
you you
So
you can't imagine what machine it took to like that had to be built in place. Like they didn't move that thing.
as soon as I think I cleaned my face off enough, I'm gonna rush out, get back to the pod, and then try and um I'm gonna go back into it and see if the door works with my thingy.
Yeah, you run back to it and it is wide open, for better or for worse.
It's good. That's the way I left it.
Yep. It did not shut behind you. So you just go in.
Yeah. Oh, geez, why did I do that? Hold on.
Make a perception roll.
There. That's kind of works. Perception.
Sorry,
10. Let's go.
Yeah, you like go back in the door and you're so happy about life not being what it was 5 minutes ago. And you look in the corner and there's that dead cockroach and then there's a cockroach eating the dead cockroach.
Inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does not appear to notice you or care.
I'm gonna see if the door closes first.
Closing you in with the cockroach?
Yeah.
The door doesn't close on its own.
Well, like with my pad, I'm gonna like take my thing and touch it to the pad and see if it closes the door the way I opened it.
Yeah. It 100% closes the door, and the cockroach stops feeding and like looks at you.
Okay, I'm gonna open the door back up and walk out and see if the cockroach follows.
Okay. It does not.
Okay, I'm going to now ambush it and kill it and then get rid of both of those bodies outside.
So what you're telling me is you're going to now go back in, sneak up, kill the cockroach, throw both the bodies out the door.
Yes.
Got it. Well, I'd say sneak is probably for you. Let's go. God, this is a really hard one because they feel shit through their feet and stuff. They detect air changes too. I'd say Dex times 4.
94.
Okay. You come in, you get all sneaky, you start moving. That first time you barely stumble, it's enough movement to make the cockroach stop and like look straight at you. Blah, 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 blah. It still doesn't immediately like seem very aggressive. It just is paying attention to you while it's eating.
Okay, I'm gonna leave and see if I can close the door from the outside.
Okay. You step out and you use your lanyard and door closes.
Oh, cool! I'm gonna walk away and look for some fruit or something that I think is edible.
Okay. You
some bath to put in my open wounds or something.
So, would you like to check out your face?
Yeah, like go walk up to a nice reflective puddle and see what's
Well,
happening.
the surface of the time machine is
Oh,
an
nice.
extremely reflective material. It's being shiny silver and, again, 30 feet wide and 10 feet tall.
Yes.
Um, yeah, you can see that you do have, in fact, giant rips in the sides of your cheeks, just like you thought.
Ah,
The good news is you don't appear to be bleeding because some combination of the digestive acid from the cockroach and the salt water appears to have effectively cauterized the wounds.
good, good. At least I'm not brutally scarred for the rest of my life.
No, that's 100% given. That's 100% given.
Yeah, I'm going to go look around for something to eat.
Yeah, let's for that very low level binding of wounds that you did, let's give you back a hit point.
Yes!
Yeah.
I'm at 15.
Yeah. So there's that. Um, make a perception roll.
72.
Yep. What do you want to do now?
Um, I'm going to search for the horrible smelling thing that I first landed on
Okay.
and noticed.
So right now you've scoped out that your time machine is on kind of like the dunes that lead down into what is presumably the ocean. You are either on a coastline or on an island, and the smell wafts from the interior of the island. You look, that direction, so away from the ocean, and you can see within maybe a mile the dunes give away to what becomes extremely lush, thick jungle vegetation. Rises pretty quickly. Maybe goes from zero level to maybe 150 feet in a pretty quick rise, fast rise, and then you can see, mountains in the distance behind that. But the smell is definitely coming from that jungle marsh, whatever it is, area.
Yeah, I'm going to charge full speed through the jungle right to that smell.
Um, give me three percentage rolls.
Oh,
One, okay. Give me another, and one
95
more.
and 81.
All right.
Yeah, nothing above 80, lower than 80.
So the good news is there's no good news.
Yeah, that it doesn't look like it.
You are fully all about jumping into that jungle like you've never seen before, and you start moving through, and even at your very limited level of perception, you can tell that you are one of 1,000 things of your size or smaller. Like you've seen 3.5 foot tall lizards go racing by you, huge snakes. There's flying shit in the air. I mean, the dragonflies are freaking 4 feet long. So like you don't you know that like in order to get that deep into that jungle, you're gonna have to literally just like fight your way to get there.
Can I just run, just flat out, trying to get away from stuff to get to that thing?
Well, you did, and unfortunately, you failed badly 2 of those times.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Fair.
Remember the 90 and the 95?
Yeah, I do remember those.
Yeah. You were really successful with that 81 compared to my 97, though. So yeah, I mean, basically, like you can, yeah, but you're okay. This is it's gonna be there's a lot of shit.
Okay,
It's a
I'm gonna
jungle out
look
there
for
now.
one of.
You are like trying to figure out how to get through this first group of like they're not spitters, but they might as well be. They're compies. They're like 3.5 foot tall little raptors who are all just like eating something and notice your presence. That's the first major obstacle. Make a perception roll.
29. Yeah.
So you notice them. They look up. They're eating something. They all look it up at you. There's like 8 of them there, and one of them wouldn't seem too threatening, but 8 of them is a little threatening. They're like 40, 50 pound ones. And then you and they at the same time, like you can feel in your feet that something is happening, like the ground is shifting or something, like heavy machinery is being operated near you. You don't really have an analogous experience to it. They like take a last bite and then just scatter. What do you do? Sorry, did I break you? Did I lose connection? Am I frozen? Are you frozen? One of us is frozen. Man, I really wish I'd been paying attention to when the screen froze. Dot, dot, dot. I went through a lot of exposition.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hello?
It's turning on right now. If you can hear me, I will be back on in
I can
30
hear you.
seconds, hopefully.
I wish I knew where I had stopped the description.
Ta-da!
Hello.
Well, so apparently I wasn't plugged in, but now I am.
All right. Or more plugged. So
Okay.
did any of that?
It stopped when me and the other raptors both noticed something.
Okay, so what you noticed was the ground, like pounding, like earth moving, like earthquake, like heavy machinery moving near you. You don't really have an experiential analog for it, but the little raptors like take one last bite and all scatter.
Good. Does it seem like the big noise is coming towards me? Is the boom booms progressing or?
Yes. It is getting stronger as you're standing there trying to listen for it. But like directionally, it's kind of hard to tell.
Okay, I'm going to.
You also can hear like the sound of something like pushing through the forest, like trees and stuff, like something's moving.
I'm gonna get
Obviously.
into a bush or something and try and get low and hidden and wait to see what happens.
Okay. Let's do your intelligence plus your dexterity times 2.
Intelligence
Oh,
plus
what
dex.
just happened?
What?
Like I tried to do a screen swipe and instead it's what are you doing? Dallas Dice Roller?
That's your name.
God.
Don't
Okay,
wear it out.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I had a Mac issue. Sorry, what did you say? Oh, 29. Were you
No,
successful?
this is.
Oh,
I
64.
didn't roll yet. 64 is my roll, which absolutely
Okay.
is not successful.
Yeah, you get into a bush and you're pretty sure that you are totally hidden in that bush. How long are you going to wait there?
I'm just trying. I'm just paying attention to the boom boom noise and what it is.
Okay, so it takes you a bit to put together what's happening. You see several smaller raptors, liked creatures of a couple different assortments are like running at you towards and around the bush you're in, and you're just gonna sit there and stay completely hidden while they come at you.
Yeah.
All right, they just like scatter and scatter and scatter, and one of them like even tries to like jump over the bush you're in, like use it, and it just like bounces past you. It doesn't even notice you. The rumbling starts to increase, and you can now hear like trumpeting, screaming sort of sounds, low like rumbles that you can feel all throughout your body. And then over the rise crests what appear to be panic-stricken triceratops. An entire herd of them, like, running in a panic.
Okay.
What do you do?
I'm going to... Is there a tree that I can climb so that I can drop down onto one of these things as they pass by?
Make a perception roll, please.
30.
Yep, there's definitely trees that as they come into contact with and kind of just like elephant like just push them down or around them, you think you could probably get to a tree that would allow you to drop down on one as it was being crushed.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do that.
Okay. You can go for a full athletics roll on that. So basically, it's 96, I think. 6 times your dex, which is crazy. Right. Okay, so yeah, you scramble up a tree, and fortunately for your plan, it is directly in the path of this oncoming group of Triceratops. From this new vantage, you can see that this is a group of about, you'd say, like 30-ish Triceratops. A good 2/3 of the group is faced your way and running, and that's all smaller ones, and all of the larger ones are on the backside of the group, and they're facing 2 Tyrannosaurs who are, from what you can see, scaring, attacking, defending, pushing this herd forward.
Okay, my plan is to get some kind of trophy and then go back to the machine and try and get it to work again.
You mean like the 2 giant cockroaches that are in there now?
It's something better than that. I mean, that would be cool, but like, if I could get a claw of a T-Rex or like I'm waiting for like one of the T-Rexes to like take a big chunk out of one of the other things and then to grab that meat or something or something like that.
Okay.
I was gonna try and get on top of a Triceratops.
What's your wisdom?
Into the door, but that's gonna be way harder than any other thing that I was thinking of.
What's your wisdom?
In 11.
All right, give me a wisdom times 3 roll.
7.
You nailed it. You're like, I want a piece of something, and you look at what's happening in front of you or coming at you, and you're like, well, I'm obviously not going to get a piece for these healthy ones that are about to run me over. But there's probably a lot of pieces where the fight is happening, or maybe even safer place would be to be like right beyond where the fight is happening, where it already happened. And maybe there'll be pieces to find there.
Yeah, if I'm up in the tree and they're gonna come right under me right now, I was gonna like wait here until they pass through and hope that they left something. But if it stops right under me, and
make another perception roll. Make another perception roll.
23.
All right. So you have that whole thought, and then you look at all of the trees that have been in the way of this rampage.
Oh, good.
And then you remember your earlier plan, which was to jump off the tree as it was being destroyed. So, like, you might be able to stay in this tree long enough for it to pass you by, but it doesn't look like it.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
like, you either need to get out of the tree and, like, flank all of this that's coming at you, get out of its way, or run with it, or...
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get out of the tree.
I mean, you can try and en-bok it. You can try and en-bok the whole thing. Like, you can land on the first one as the tree's going down and try and ride the wave backwards. You are extremely dexterous.
It seems like the right decision. It seems like the right decision is to let my plan happen and then continue down them and get past the T-Rex, and they won't come after me because I'm just a little monkey and they have bigger prey?
Okay. So you're like, you got it. You got this plan. And it's a good one.
That's so good. It's the best plan of anything right here.
It's a winner. And you're on the tree, and this whole fucking apocalypse is just running at you at about 20 miles an hour, and it hits. Give me a straight athletics roll to jump out, clear the tree, and land on the first.
Oh!
Woo! Wow.
Good start. Man, I'm thinking about it way too hard.
Yeah. So 91. Now, technically, I think you have a 96. Right? Isn't your dex times 6? Isn't your straight athletics, your dex times 6? Isn't that like 96 or something?
16 times... Is it times 5 or times 6?
I'm trying to remember. Times 5 would sound right. Times 6 is almost a gimme.
Yeah, times 5 is
80?
80. Yeah.
All right. So you jump out and you land on the back of one, and you totally miscalculate the physics of it running at you at 20 miles an hour, and you
hurt so bad.
You bounce off. Give me a con times 5.
7.
You bounce. You go slamming face first into the back of it, and you just literally bounce from 1 back up in the air without taking any serious damage. You're not even barely stunned. And now roll to land.
Here we go. 14. Yes.
Okay. So you can choose to land on the ground or on the back of another one.
Like the ground in between all of them?
Yes.
I'm going to choose to land on the back of one.
Okay, so You have if what you're trying to do is make it towards the T-Rex, you're gonna have to successfully jump on 5 more of them.
Okay.
To get to where that's happening. So give me 5 athletic rolls at 80%.
1. I think this is the end of that character.
Game over.
Oh no.
Oh, his parents are going to be so upset.
Critical fumble. Oh, his bones are going to be there. They're going to find his bones.
They're going to find your bones now. Wow, you just completely ruined the entire time continuum.
I wasn't even thinking I was going to get back. And now I was like, you know what? I bet I could go back to the time machine and get it to work and go back. And at least I'd have the 2 bugs. And I was like, no, you know what? I need at least a little bit more of a trophy.
Yeah. What happens is... Oh my goodness. So what happened?
My face. Oh my
what
poor
happened
face. It's taken so much damage this game.
What happens is you make that first bounce and it's a fail. But it gives you enough air for you to flip over and try and land on the next one, but instead the upper left horn goes through your third eye. And
oh god.
The upshot of all of that at the end of the day is that your mother is the one who finds a Triceratops with a human skeleton impaled on it. And the worst part is that due to the fossilization process and the way that your body lands on the body of the other one, the patches from the front of your shirt that everyone wears on the dig actually were preserved in a way against the skin of it. So not only did she find the body, the fossilized skeleton smashed by this other one, but it had the patches of their organization on it, quite clearly.
I'm sure they put it together. I'm sure
they
put it together, and that was such a dark way to end that one.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I thought, you know what? I really thought you were gonna make it all the way to the T-Rexes for sure.
I was so ready. But
yeah,
the first one. Let's see. Let's go 4 more. 73, 24, 80, right on the spot, and then miss at the end. So either way.
So you'd have made it closer.
I would have been with the T-Rexes.
Yeah.
Not.
You'd have hit the ground stunned with the T-Rexes.
What do you think?
And the big angry male Triceratopses that are frenzying because they're battling. Not to mention the fact is there's actually 6 T-Rexes, of course, and there's 2 sets of flankers coming in on that.
What do you think their first idea of how it played out is when they find the scene?
Well, the really crazy thing is that capsule's got to be somewhere.
Yeah, I was wondering if, like, it had been eroded by that time or something, or something got rid of it. The water washed up at some point and then drug it into the sea or something. There's
the only thing that would survive that long would be the base metals, you know? The nobles, like the gold and silver, wouldn't change probably. Hard to tell though, because that ocean went away and became a desert.
Oh, so there's a box somewhere out there in the desert. That
there's a big disc,
yeah,
30 feet wide and 10 feet tall,
unless
housing
they figured out,
a starving, crazed
yeah,
cockroach.
I trapped that poor beetle in there for all eternity.
All eternity.
Or
he's the real loser in this battle. That cockroach. He was just trying to get some lunch.
Or the team figured out how to pull back the machine, and then they pulled it back, and then they thought it was their fault that I was gone and died, and it wasn't me. And so then they all blamed.
They would have pulled it back. That would have been how the story would probably have ended, except that you took the remote with you. You took the remote and the machine.
They find all my tools are still like around me too. They'd probably find those tools.
I don't know. Millions, hundreds of millions of years. I don't. Maybe. And it became a desert from an ocean. You were on an island.
Well, honestly, I made it farther than I thought. So
I'm surprised you survived the cockroach after you fumbled the opening of it.
After the beginning of the game, I thought I was going to die from the beginning of that encounter. So,
I mean, quite frankly, you're lucky that the digestive juices happened. Otherwise, you would have bled out in that fight.
Yeah.
All right, GG.
GG.
And this ends yet another fine edition of Ogre Tailz.
That was a good one.
Which again only proves that it's like the Muppet Show. You know, if you can't figure out how to end something, you have a song, you make a joke, or you blow something up. And in this way, a fumble is kind of the same as just blowing shit up.
It's
right?
so good. It's such a good ending. A fumble or a crit, that last roll, just getting to the princess, finding the killer and critting. Oh, or the other way around, where you fumble on top of a triceratops trying to ombak your way through the back of it, which is one of the coolest scenarios you probably can come up with as a 13, 14-year-old child who's into the Jurassic period.
This is just me speaking, but if I watched this as a 1-hour animated cartoon, I would be very satisfied with the experience.
Yeah, more like a 15 minutes maybe.
Maybe.
I didn't get that far.
Yeah, maybe. All right, GG.
GG. Love ya.
Love you. Peace.
Everybody.
Peace. Love you, everybody.